Hi, it's Future Andre here, and
Future Billy is also here. Yes. This is a disclaimer. This is not your usual Billy and Andre fun, wacky hijinks show video.
In the following video, we will be raging about the current situation with America and Ukraine. So, we just had such a big build-up of rage, we thought we had to let it go.
Yeah, and unfortunately that means involving politics. Our politics and the politics of, an insane group of people who have taken over the government of America. So, if that kind of stuff isn't your jam,
do not listen to it.
Do not listen to it. Duck out now. Just like and subscribe and leave, ring the bell.
That would still be really nice.
Yeah, it would still be really nice. But yeah. We won't subject you to us raging impotently at the world unless you fancy it.
What?
You know what I mean?
Then, if you do like that, just listen to this hour of the Billy and Andre show on Rage.
Hello, everybody. This is a new kind of video from us. This isn't the sort of thing we usually do.
It's a special episode which is not part of anything. It's just a video.
It's just a video. It's just a nice little YouTube video, which in no way is going to spell out why everything in the world is doomed. So, let's get into it. You might have judged from the title of the video that this is... Okay, so Russia and Ukraine. Everyone's been, unless you've been living under a rock for literally 3.5 years, Russia invaded Ukraine. It did so without any sort of justification, no legal justification, no, historical justification. They tried to justify it. Their justifications were so bad that nobody in the world bought them unless they were an idiot.
Yeah.
So... The Russia-Ukraine war has unfortunately split a lot of people's good sense away from their body. A lot of people seem to think that Russia should win the war.
Well, the only reason those people think that Russia should win the war is that they are sick of seeing the war on TV.
Basically, yeah. It's, it's like when you change the channel when, the adverts of starving children come on. It's like, I'm sick of seeing other people suffering, therefore I'm going to look away so it doesn't affect me.
Just because you look away, that doesn't mean...
It's not happening.
Yes.
Yes.
And this has been pissing us off for a minute, pissing you off a bit more than it pisses me off, even though it angers me, but you are waiting to do this one for a while. That's why it's...
We actually had a bit of a fervent discussion back and forth whether we should even do anything like this. And what it came down to is we can't put it on the regular show because it's just too depressing. So we're going to put it on a little side thing. Yeah. And the reason for that is because we're probably going to get very, very angry during this.
We might be swearing quite a bit.
We're going to swear a lot.
I mean, I'm trying to keep a really monotone, calm voice.
Yeah, you're trying, man. I've gone past that point. Also, the question came up yesterday, why should we talk about this at all, and a lot of people who are listening are probably thinking, oh, well, why does this matter? It's just another day in the ongoing Trump madness. No.
The massive clown show that is America at the moment.
The massive, gigantic, steaming clown fire. It's like a tire fire, except all the tires are crying clowns. That's what we've got in...
And there's clowns throwing car fire trial clowns on the fire, so they're just...
so there's a bunch of clowns have shown up to put out the clown fire with a giant novelty hose, but the hose actually sprays napalm instead of water, so it's only getting worse the more clowns arrive at the scene to try and help.
Yeah.
That's America at the moment. And over here in England, we like to pretend that stuff that happens in America doesn't matter. We like to pretend that we are separated from all of that by a big fuck-off ocean and a lot of historical animosity, and they're our friends, right? They couldn't do anything too bad to hurt us.
Of course, yes, they are friends, but they're not our friends when an orange clown is leading the pack.
No, not during the current clown fire situation. They are not our friends. They are a set of clowns that are on fire, so naturally, if you go to hug them as you would a friend, then you're going to get burned really
by
really
the fiery
badly.
Clowns.
Like the fire, you become a fiery clown as soon as you touch them.
Just every single time we say clowns in this video, just replace it with the classic C word. in your head? Because we don't want to put it out there.
No, we don't have to. I don't. My beeping hand is like broken.
I do not have enough free time to beep everything that we're gonna say. So every single time you hear clown, we don't mean clown.
We don't mean clowns, but they are clowns, and they are on fire.
Yes.
So why are we talking about this? Why does this matter? Essentially, pretty much everybody, unless you're in your 90s and listening to this for some reason, everyone who is, listening to this video right now, we have been brought up in a sort of under a shadow of, American hegemony. America being the biggest and baddest nation in the world, having the biggest, baddest army, and us being a part of their big, bad military alliance, which is NATO. That military alliance is probably going to die. And
they are working actively to kill it.
They are working actively to kill it. America had the idea for NATO in the first place, and it was used kind of to ensure that Western Europe was both safe from the Soviet Union and also allied with the United States. And they went to great expense and spent a lot of money in order to make sure that happened. That has been true for 80 years. It is not true anymore.
No.
And this man, the man on screen right now, is Donald Trump, the man who killed it.
He is a massive orange clown.
He is. He's a massive orange clown whose hair piece seems to be slowly degrading as it's exposed to the sun. Oh God, it's just hard not to... It's hard to talk about Donald Trump, and it's for one specific reason, and it's because you get bored of yourself talking about it. You know? Like halfway through every sentence about Donald Trump, I get sick of saying his name. Literally. Because for 10 years we've been putting up with this guy now, just being a massive, massive, dripping clown on the largest stage imaginable, which is the US news. And it's infuriating.
It is quite so.
And what else is infuriating is not just his abandonment of Western Europe and his new alliance with Russia, which is what appears to be happening following this interview that we're about to go over. What else is infuriating is a lot of people also saying, well, this won't affect me. This won't affect me over here in Europe. Why should we care? Why should we listen to the news? It's going to affect you.
It's going to affect all of us.
It's going to affect all of us. If Ukraine goes down, that's just one domino in a long, long line that reaches all the way to your back door.
Yep.
Fun fact, when I was in Air Cadets as a kid, every once in a while you'd see the officers like sort of huddled together and chatting. And being a bit sneaky, I sort of crept up and had a bit of an eavesdrop. They were talking about Russian fighter jets buzzing UK airspace. Apparently, every few months, what the Russians like to do is they like to buzz our UK airspace by flying planes through it, fighter planes, unannounced, and see what our response is going to be. Basically, it's like a bully, like sort of, teasing you, like from the back of the class with a little stick. He's got a stick and he's like poking you in the back of the head.
Yeah.
And he wants to see what your reaction is going to be and if you're going to tell the teacher or not. And if you don't tell the teacher, then he knows he can keep doing it. So this is the situation we find ourselves in, ladies and gentlemen.
Where a bully is poking the poor Ukrainian countries.
Oh, no. He's not poking the Ukrainian countries. He's beating the shit out of them with the same stick.
Yeah.
And he's looking at you and going...
Well, I don't know why I tried to be nice. Because they are also a whole bunch of red clowns.
Yes, a bunch of wannabe red clowns. I mean, I could go down the list of like horrific war crimes that have been committed by the Russian government in Ukraine. I'm not going to. They're available online. You can find them. Start with Bucha and work down from there. Every day they're finding more mass graves. They're getting prisoners back from, doing prisoner deals and finding them starved to death, basically, which goes against Geneva Conventions and blah, 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 blah. All this stuff looks pretty bad from a distance. Up close, it looks even worse. But when you think about it, that's just the bully showing you what he's going to do to you if he gets the chance.
And if you do let this to go on, then he will get a chance.
He will. He's been waiting for the chance for quite a long time, and now, with Donald Trump in the White House, he is getting his chance. The world has gone mental We are living through history, and it fucking sucks. I'm glad we waited long enough so I could put the F-bomb in there.
Yeah.
Just so that we know how bad this is.
At least the video's not gonna get taken down.
Fuck it, even if it does, man. It's just worth it to get all this stuff off the chest, you know?
Yeah.
So, sit back and watch us react live in real time. Not necessarily for the first time, I should say. I have seen this before. You have seen this before. You brought this to my attention.
Times.
Yeah, it's it's like a car crash full of fiery clowns. You know, you can't really take your eye off the giant burning pile of like rubber shoes and giant noses.
Yeah. We will try not to talk over the video, but we'll probably have real-time reactions to how absolutely insane the whole thing is. And it's probably going to be slight discrepancies in sound, as in we will try to real-time adjust it to make sure.
We will do our best. This is not how we usually record videos. This is a new thing, so
enjoy us being
gather
angry.
round people
and enjoy us rage.
Gather round people and watch probably one of the most pivotal moments of the entire 21st century so far, and it sucks.
Welcome to the clown show.
Welcome to the fucking clown show. Get out your popcorn.
If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war, and that would not have been a good situation. What was your second question?
My second question for President Snowden.
Okay, just before this, World War III. The idea that Ukraine is gambling with World War III by resisting being invaded by Russia is one of the most idiotic sentiments I've ever heard, and I keep hearing it. I've heard it for the last 3 years, even from people who I kind of pretend to respect.
Well, the idea is, it's like, you can't be telling me that they're gambling with World War III when they're the defenders. So you have to look from the point of view as the Russians are already gambling with World War III by invading them, but they're just trying their cards, being like, oh, they let us take Crimea because Obama didn't have a backbone to actually do anything about it.
Yep.
And now he's like, oh, we already took Crimea, so why couldn't we take just a little bit more? And that's what happens. The whole concept of them gambling with World War III, it already started.
The gambling's already begun, son.
So I don't understand why America didn't do something about this to begin with.
Obama,
Didn't
bad
have a
foreign
backbone.
policy. He was never a particularly good president. Anyway, just let's not start talking about Obama, because I got way too many issues with that guy as well.
Yeah.
But here we have like one of the most annoying sentiments just coming straight out of sorry, I almost said Putin's mouth there.
I mean, you
it's
wouldn't be wrong, because they're the same person at this
they're
point.
saying the same thing.
They're exactly the same person. They're
Yes.
fucking twins.
This is like a guy showing up to you like at your house with like a roulette table and like smashing his way through your house with the roulette table, putting the roulette table in your lounge, and then go saying, "Why are you running a casino? Why do you spend all your time gambling? Motherfucker, you brought this here. You brought it here. You put it in my house."
He will bring you shit and then call the police on you because he brought you shit.
Yeah, basically.
This is what happens. It's that guy at the party that wants a career in the FBI, and he's like, you know how I can get a career? By selling you shit and then turning you in.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what's happening. right now.
This is your so-called friend who's not even your friend. He's like an acquaintance who you invited to the party to be a nice person, and now he's robbing you and selling your drugs to the FBI. Okay.
I love that we watched 20 seconds of that.
This is going to be a long video.
It is gonna be. I got so much work.
Let's just play.
Zelensky now. Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office.
Fun fact, that guy who's talking there from outside, he is the boyfriend of American Congresswoman and massive fucking idiot Marjorie Taylor Greene. If you may have remembered her from her comments about Jewish space lasers. And now her boyfriend is on here talking shit about a man's dress when he's just not wearing a suit.
Well, the reason he's not wearing a suit, and I'm not completely sure, I can't remember from the video if he explains it. Why would he wear a suit? His country is at war. Why would you wear a suit when your whole country is fighting for its sheer existence?
Yeah.
How would that show any power? You just show you're weak and you care about things that have no importance, like wearing a suit when your whole country is dying.
Yeah.
Shall we? Click again, because we're not going to get to this.
We're not going to get through this otherwise.
And you refuse to wear a suit, just want to see if you, do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not
Really?
respecting
I
the
don't have
dignity of this
such-
office.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good response.
Such a fucking well said. I will wear a costume like you clowns. As soon as the war is finished.
The guy's background is as a stand-up comedian, and it comes in handy. It comes in
does.
handy
It
because he
does.
has to deal with fucking jokes.
It's like the American government right now.
Maybe one.
Maybe something like this.
something like
Yes,
yours.
sir.
Yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't
Ice.
know. We will see.
Ice.
Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you have.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine.
So it
yeah.
starts.
Hopefully I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things.
Jumping in again here. On the surface, sounds like a nice sentiment, doesn't it? Get this over with quickly. We're going to have a peace. The problem is, you don't get... Ending a war quickly can take many forms. You know?
You can ask for a ceasefire, but a ceasefire can be broken.
Ceasefire has been broken by Russia, at least. I've actually lost count of how many times Russia has like broken ceasefire agreements.
He doesn't care.
Anyone who's talking to you about this, they'll bring this up. They'll call it the Minsk Accords and say, "Well, Ukraine didn't follow the Minsk Accords. Russia didn't either. Nobody followed the Minsk Accords. They didn't work. That's what happens with peace talks sometimes." So, what Trump means by finishing the war quickly is essentially, oh, I'm in the middle of this boxing match. How do I get this boxing match completed quickly? Well, you've got one of two options. You can either beat the guy up in front of you, or you can take a dive and they win.
Yeah.
Basically, what Trump is doing is saying, well, it would be quicker and it would get the boxing match over and stop all this fighting if I just died right here.
Yeah. Because that's what he's doing. He's just trying to kill off a whole country just because he wants the minerals. Like, it's the bottom line of the whole thing.
Yes.
He's like, how can I get all your minerals? I don't want to put any effort into this.
Yeah. We'll get back to Trump's motivations in a minute. We're still only a minute in.
For only a minute.
But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had, and we're treating, our country is now treated
I
fairly.
hate the fact that he
Biden
said
didn't do that.
had,
Biden
like
did-
he already owns it.
Yeah.
Like, it's already ours, so he had this. Is that... You think
Well,
he actually...
Are you saying that Ukraine he's now secured the minerals which he hasn't?
Because he didn't sign.
No, he didn't sign. But he's saying basically, what you were saying before. We're going to strip mine this place of minerals, and that's all we care about. And what? Yeah, continue.
Just play it.
Continue.
Just play it.
He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started. But, sure, the answer is yes, but hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You fall into the same trap like everybody else. 1,000,000 times you say it over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about...
Actually, in a war, security is more like 100% of the problem.
Yeah, because that's why I worry, because your people are not secure from the enemy.
Yeah, that's what security means. Also, he's saying we're not going to throw in security guarantees until the deal is done. Well, then they're not part of the deal, are they?
No, they are not. No, so again, as I said, he wants everything but give absolutely nothing.
Yes, it's the Donald Trump way. I want everything and for no effort, please. That's why he ran casinos.
About security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stopped shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceivably. We have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in the...
Just to be a pedant, but to remind you the fact that Donald Trump speaks and is educated about as well as a 5-year-old, it's not raw earth. It's not called raw earth. It's rare earth minerals. Nobody says raw earth. Nobody says rare earth. Raw earth is just dirt.
Yeah. So
clowns on fire.
Like, so he's basically asking Ukraine just for dirt. Is that what he's asking for? We can do dirt.
Yeah, we can do dirt.
We can do dirt.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I have so much dirt for you, my man. I'll put all of it on top of your. No. Stop.
No.
Go.
TOS.
Yeah. No.
In this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over.
Russia's not going to want to go back. Why?
Because there's no security. Why would they not go back?
Why would they not?
Yeah. You think they would have an issue actually if let's say they would have signed the deal and America would have sent their companies to get the raw earth from Ukraine, what would stop Russians to just go in and shoot American citizens? I don't think there's anything that's gonna stop them to do it, because they're like, we did that before, we can do it again, why wouldn't you?
Or, even better idea, kidnap all of those American workers and hold them hostage.
Even better.
Yeah.
That's such a good idea.
Yeah, I mean...
Because there's no security, so what's the point?
And I'm sure that the American people will really want those hostages back alive, you know?
Oh, so there you go.
Yeah, you see, it's like October 7th, but times 500,000.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Mr. President, thank you.
Oh, I should make one correction to that comparison. It's not October 7th, because Hamas does not have nukes. Russia does. So, there's a slight difference there.
President Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction?
Just for context, the reason that every single news reporter in this room sounds like they want to massage his balls with the tender love that you would give to someone that you've been married to for 30 years, it's because basically if you don't suck off Trump in the middle of every single press conference, he will just kick you out. That's the reason why.
Well, it's proven.
Yeah, it's happened
it happens so many times because he has the ego of, I don't know, a 5-year-old. If you don't constantly say, "Oh, you're a good boy, have some candy. You want some more candy?" But in this case, is the lives of millions and millions of people on the line, which is horrible. Having a 5-year-old lead the country, and at the same time, a 5-year-old that is senile. Because he is the age that he is, right?
Do you remember that Simpsons Treehouse of Horror thing where Bart was had the power to kill anybody with his mind?
Yeah.
And all the news report was just 13 people died today, and we say good. It's good that Bart did all these things.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing with news at the moment. Yeah. I'm surprised that actually nobody reacts this way. Yeah,
I'm confused by it as well. But they know what happened to the AP reporter who refused to call it the Gulf of America. If they're going to kick people out of the press,
have you seen that guy that modified the name to Gulf of Poland now?
Why?
Because it's funny. That's why. Because it's the same way it's stupid that they call it the Gulf of America. It's stupid. You can just call it the Gulf of Poland. It will be actually more accurate.
It would have about as much relevance.
Pretty much.
Okay, right. Get on with this Goddamn interview.
Conviction to step forward and lead that.
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question.
One American News, for the record, is basically an entire like cottage industry based around inflating Trump's ego.
Yeah, that's why he likes them.
That's why he likes them.
Yeah, the small child, like, yeah,
like
candy.
If you ever get the chance to watch One American News Network, it's like a parody from an alternate universe where nothing is real, and yeah, just watch it. It's really, really good comedy.
I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, you know, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement, because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have.
There shouldn't be no war. I mean, that's so obvious. There shouldn't be no war. Because it started as an invasion. It didn't start off as a war.
Yeah.
It started with absolute maniac raping and killing people for no actual reason, right?
Yeah, basically.
I mean, his reason is that he wants to take over the country, but still, there was no justification behind it, even though he said his justification was because he was afraid for his own country's safety.
Bullshit.
So,
anyone who's saying, oh, well, NATO shouldn't have expanded so... NATO stopped expanding in 2004. He did not invade Ukraine until, 10 years later?
Yeah.
Instead, he invaded Georgia first, because obviously they were much bigger a threat.
Yeah.
Dad. Anyway, fuck Putin, he started the war.
It never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money to give to Hamas. They were stone cold broke. And then under Biden, they became rich as hell. They went from...
This is a previous Trump foreign policy thing. He ripped up the nuclear deal with Iran. The idea was Iran could have nuclear material for power plants and stuff like that, but they wouldn't be able to enrich it into nukes. Obama signed that deal, and because Obama signed it, Trump ripped it up. So Iran is now developing nuclear weapons.
Yay!
Yay! Also, when he says Iran was broke, what he means is the Iran deal lifted the sanctions briefly, and then when Trump got in, he slapped them on again, and Biden did not take them off. Biden did not get another nuclear deal done with Iran to reduce sanctions. Iran has been sanctioned this entire time. So, just to clear up any confusion, yes, Donald Trump is a massive liar and a total clown.
No money to $300 billion in a period of 4 years. And they gave a lot of that money away, and you see what happened. And that's a real mess also that we hope to be able to solve. But no, I appreciate your question very much. I feel
of course
I have
you
an
do. He
obligation
sucked
to
you
try
off.
and do something to stop the death.
If I can answer, yes, if I can answer,
Please,
sorry, please.
And
Yeah,
I do
let's
like
let
your
a
love
person
and
talk.
even though I have to,
An actual
I think
human
he's a great
being.
guy,
Yeah.
by the way. But I don't know if you two.
Side note, just lower that video down and we talk as they go through everything, and we just give slight info into it. Right?
Okay.
So just because otherwise, we are how many minutes into that?
We are like 3 minutes in. Yeah, we're not going to get anywhere.
Yeah, we will not finish this video, right?
I know.
So lower the volume on that.
And we'll just ramble over it.
Ramble over
okay,
it.
right. Screw stopping. We're going for
But
broke
take the
people.
sound down off of that video down, so we can talk over it a little bit.
Yeah, no, it'll be fine. Don't worry.
Like
Okay.
each other, but you know what? I think
No,
he's dressed. I think he's
why?
dressed
I like
beautifully.
this guy. I don't.
I think he's dressed beautifully.
So I have more serious things than answer on such
Yeah,
questions.
sure, that's
I
okay.
will answer on.
This is the part of the conversation where the bully is trying to make you believe that, you know, he's your friend.
And about just ceasefire, we can't just speak about ceasefire and speak and speak. It will not work. Just ceasefire will not never work because I'm like a president. I have this experience, and not only me. Ukraine before my presidency, from the 2014, Putin broken 25 times. 25 times he broken.
Why would
his
stop him to
own
do the
signature.
26th
21
time?
times he broke
Or
his
27.
file. It
But
was
he never broke to me. He never broke
No,
to
no,
me.
you were
What
the
you mean he
president.
didn't broke to
were
you,
the
man?
president
He
during,
never broke to me.
in 2016, you've been the president, Mr. President. You've been the president, but he had, of course, not with you.
No, Bobby said
but
you
he
weren't
had,
the president.
During
Yeah.
those period, he had conversations.
Zelensky is smart.
He's very intelligent.
He knows in order to try and get anything decent done, he has to suck off this guy, basically.
Yeah.
Not dignified, but he's got the balls to do it, so.
Ceasefire, it will not work without security guarantees. Security guarantees, maybe President is right about this document and other, but this document is not enough. Strong army is enough because his soldiers afraid, Putin's soldiers afraid of our soldiers when we're strong enough. If we are not strong enough, if we are empty, if our storage is empty, we can't defend our land. Today, you know, he knows that we have all the world knows that we have meeting. Yes, why he's using ballistic? Putin today using ballistic on our hospitals, schools, and etc. Ballistic. So he knows that we are here and that President Trump is really have goodwill to stop this war.
He has my fucking balls. He has no fucking goodwill. There's no fucking good anything in that man.
Yeah, Zelensky is lying here. He's
He's a good
lying to
president.
try and, you know.
When you speak about security guarantees, when the Europeans are ready for contingents, they need USA backstop. If there will not be United States, we will not never have any contingents, strong contingents from the Europeans, because they don't want to divide alliance, connection between the United States and the main and strongest ally and Europeans. And this is crucial, this is important. That's what we want to speak about very much. This is very important. And air defense. So air defense, really, we have big deficit with all these systems, and we need to provide this. We need it very much. Otherwise, Putin will never stop, and will go further and further. He doesn't want. He hates us, you know. It's not about me. He hates Ukrainians.
He
thinks
literally
that we are not a nation.
takes children and he takes them in Russia and indoctrinates them to make them hate other Ukrainians, right?
Yep.
And the same sort of thing Nazis used to do during the Second World War.
Yep.
Taking children and just brainwashing them.
They also used to do it with native populations in, like, America and Australia and Canada. It's a common tactic, and it also is defined as genocide.
This document, maybe other documents, it's a very good start, very good, but it will not enough to stop this person.
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
Mr. President, after these
Should Russia pay to rebuild Ukraine?
They have to pay. This is the rule. This is the rule of the war. This is the rule of the war. During all the centuries, all the history, this is the rule of the war. Who began, those pay.
Do you agree,
This is the rule. Putin began this war. He has to pay all money for innovation. He has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
under these circumstances, do you envision a trilateral summit with
That's an interesting point there. Technically, he's kind of true. It's kind of right that people who start the war generally end up paying for it. You know, war reparations and stuff like that. Not always the case, and not always the best idea, but I completely understand why he wants that.
Well, if you look at it from the other perspective, Russia doesn't fucking have shit left.
No, to be honest.
How is he gonna? What is he gonna pay with?
Empty bottles of vodka?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, like...
Well, also we can't generalize that all Russians are alcoholics, but
No, just the men.
wow.
Sorry.
No,
Alcoholism is a huge problem
You can't
in
hate on
Russia.
the whole country.
No, I
for
don't.
An absolute authoritarian dictator ruling over it and brainwashing them constantly by
Yeah.
not giving them access to real internet
I
and
know.
not giving them access to real information from outside their country and by not actually feeding them.
That's
Okay.
true. Yeah, I make jokes obviously, but I'm not gonna try and generalize the Russians because they did actually stand up at the beginning of the war before Putin started blackbagging everybody and dragging them away to God knows where.
After you see 20 of your neighbors die, you kind of don't
Takes
say-
the fight out of you a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, it does.
and there was also quite a lot of groups inside Russia who have been, shall we say, monkeying with things on the back end to make things more difficult, and they've had some quite admirable success, I think. More power to him.
Yeah.
And
No.
Wait 1 second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and
Yes.
Ukraine or on the Ukraine side.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved.
Why the
And,
fuck would you be for fucking
it's wonderful
both?
to speak badly about
One
somebody
country is
else,
clearly
but
in the wrong here,
I wanna
and
get it solved. If we
it's
can
not
solve
a secret who it
if
is.
we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about
Good to see that's nice and clear.
after
Was-
Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country.
Yeah.
Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. As you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
I'm gonna talk over him because I don't give a fuck about what he has to say.
That's fair.
So, 2 days later, the foreign minister of Poland came in on radio and says, "This will affect all of us, and even though you don't see it, Europe is behind Ukraine, and Europe will support Ukraine no matter what. If the Americans are not gonna do it, Europe will do it." And as we speak, every single European country is raising their military budget because they're thinking, we're done with Russia. So now, in the background, I think we're going to see a shift in this.
Obviously very helpful. But we have put in far more than they have. And I think they should equalize.
Fun fact, this is actually not true. America has not put in more than Europe. In fact, in terms of raw money, Europe's put in quite a bit more.
Well, they didn't put raw money, but they just set up more contracts to pay themselves.
Yeah, America, yeah, that's what it does.
And we made a deal. That's what changed.
Along with minerals.
I didn't think we were going to make a deal. And we ended up making the deal, so that changed.
Mr. President, what and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President?
Just to cut in again here, I know you said no more pausing, but I'm gonna pause it because this is a long point. That mineral deal, how insane was that?
Yeah.
Yeah, like basically it was something to the tune of like,
We'll take everything and
give you shit, nothing, less than nothing,
not even support, not even
military,
securities,
not even bullets. Literally, I believe the deal that they were trying to get Zelensky to sign was something along the lines of, we have the rights to half of these natural resources basically forever. You can't do anything to stop us. Our companies, not your companies, our companies are going to be the ones who extract it. So you don't get any of those resources, any money from anything. And in exchange, you get fuck all.
Yeah.
Just fuck all.
Because you get no securities and Russia can still invade.
Yes, and I imagine if Russia had anything to do with these negotiations, which it did before the Ukrainians were even allowed in, I imagine one of the conditions will be that Ukraine can't have an army anymore, because that's what the Russians have been insisting on since day one. They say if any peace treaty is going to be signed, it means Ukraine has no army.
Which is insane.
Yeah. Which means the next time Russia wants to invade in like 5 years or something, and, you know,
Gonna be even easier.
it's going to be even easier. Yeah. So that's the mineral deal that they're talking about here.
Zelensky and Putin?
I don't know,
under
but
these
well, they
circumstances?
don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay?
Yeah, no
They
shit.
do not like each other. This is not a love match.
Sorry.
It's
orange
unfortunate.
fucking
That's why
clown.
you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United
God, he
States.
always goes back to the same point.
Run by
Oh,
a
it shouldn't
man
have
that
happened.
knows
Yeah, well,
You didn't do
much.
anything about it when
I'll
it
give you
happened, you
very nice.
fucking imbecile.
Run by.
he had 4 years to do something about it, and he did fuck all, like he always
should never
does.
have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars.
Oh,
You
bitch, when?
You
Bitch,
stopped
when?
nothing. You stopped nothing. You cunt.
And I said, bitch, where?
Look at some
It's all right, we'll bleep it.
I could give you a lot of
not.
nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it.
What the hell is he
They
talking
should-
about with this one?
I don't know, dude. I genuinely don't know.
Sorry, just
He probably
a second.
drammed something last night.
About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, modern Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not the war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So these two sides will be at the will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States.
Unfortunately, they didn't go to the first one, because the first one in Saudi Arabia was just the Americans and Russians. That was it.
But that's not a negotiation, because how can you negotiate something when the parties that are involved are not present?
Yeah, well, it's more like one of those things. It's like the scramble for Africa. Like a bunch of European nations get together and go, okay, this bits of Africa are yours, these bits are mine.
Yeah, you can't
Fuck
do that.
whoever lives there, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us.
Yeah,
but
big, nice
if
ocean. I love
we
that.
will not stay. Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them.
Well, the
because
next
they've
one on the
been-
list is
they've
Moldova.
been in the USSR,
Yeah,
you know,
I'm not even sure Moldova counts, but he's right about the Baltics though. They will be literally the first. Yeah, because Baltic Sea. Yeah,
Oh my dude, I don't want to go fight the Russians when they reach Romania.
I know.
It
Gonna
doesn't
have to,
matter.
though.
Do you have ocean or not? Your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kiev or Odessa, which is known to be a dirty hero with Black Sea?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa.
The same shit you've been saying for the last 20.
Not recognizable.
I
There's not a
rolled my
building
eyes so
standing.
hard, I gave myself a headache.
A lot of things have
Mr.
to happen.
President, you have to come and to look. No. We have very good cities. Yes, a lot of things have been destroyed, but mostly cities alive, and people work, and children go to school. Sometimes it's very difficult. Sometimes closer to front line, children have to go to underground schools or online, but we live. Ukraine is fighting and Ukraine lives. This is very important. And maybe it's Putin is sharing this information that he destroyed us. No, he lost 700,000 people, 700,000 soldiers. He lost everything. Yes. So,
Mr. President, more. I mentioned Poland.
Please, go ahead.
When did you last speak with President Putin, and what did he say that
Couple
He
of days.
fucking shushed that one reporter because he didn't fucking like her.
Yeah.
He went, no, not that one. I know that one. I don't want that one. That one is not good for me. I'm doing the hand thing. You can't see it, but I'm doing the hand thing.
Believe me, let me just tell you. Yeah, that the hand thing he
Yeah,
constantly
so
does.
he's like, no, you can't speak because you will say something that might. offend me.
I've heard her chime in and like actually ask like semi-reasonable questions that you might be able to.
Yeah, but he doesn't know how to answer reasonable questions, man. He only knows how to answer questions that are fucking made for him to answer.
Yeah. Okay,
Let's go.
Go.
Days ago.
I don't think we're gonna finish the video.
Watch us.
Well, that's what I do. My whole life is deals. I know pretty good.
You would know fuck all. All your
And I
money
really-
is
I've,
made by your
I've known
fucking
him for a long
father.
time. I've dealt with him for a long time.
Yeah, for context, Donald Trump is one of the few businessmen to lose money on a casino.
Yeah.
It was nothing to do with him. So he had to suffer through that, and he was able to do that. I think that he wants to make a deal, and he'd like to see it end. That's all I do. That's what I do. My whole life, that's what I do, is make deals. And I'm in the middle of a mess, because this is a real mess. It's a very dangerous one.
The mess he's talking about here is the mess that he just left in his adult diaper that he is wearing right now.
I hope we're gonna get it solved. In the back, please.
Thank you, Mr. President.
And he's
Prime
gonna
Minister
probably
Trump
change
has
him.
claimed repeatedly that his government believes in free speech and was not engaged in censorship. But his country's government arrests people for memes and thought crimes and even
Okay.
American companies to censor Americans.
Okay, fuck this. I can't handle that guy's question because it's literally just like, I spend too much time on Twitter, the interview question. That's what it is. Like, ranting about free speech basically this line comes up against Ukraine sometimes. It's just like, well, they're banning people from having political opinions. Yeah, if your political opinion is we should lose this war and we should give ourselves to Russia, yeah, you're probably not going to be allowed on TV anymore.
Well, that's probably Russian bots that are actually creating those tweets, because that's one of the strategies that Russia has. Russian bots. It's a thing that it happens on so many platforms and people just don't understand them. So if you go sometimes on X or Twitter or whatever it's fucking called now, you could see that. Like, there are platforms that are much older than all of these social media platforms, like 9gag, even though 9gag is made for jokes. People that are on that platform will absolutely call out every single bot that is on there, because there's a lot of political talk on there as well.
Yeah.
Even though some of them, seem like they're racists, but they're not to a certain degree. But the idea is every response that you get, it's normal human, 20 bots.
Yeah, that's definitely the case on Twitter as well. At least it was before I left, because frankly, I have better things to do than spend my time indulging in the opinions of complete and utter freaks. So let's okay. But yeah, this whole like free speech thing, that's just things that governments do in times of war. Everywhere. Like in World War II we did this. Very famously, we had our own sort of Nazi party that existed over here under the command of Oswald Mosley.
Yeah.
And in 1940, because they would not shut the fuck up about like Hitler being right, they decided to, just basically we just beat the crap out of them and locked them up because they needed to be. They were made illegal, and they should have stayed illegal, but they didn't. And yeah, it's very, very basic stuff, because if you don't do that, then all of a sudden people start sabotaging you from the inside.
Let's keep going.
Let's keep going.
On its behalf.
It's coming up on the fun part.
Oh, I'm gonna be so angry. Just don't pause it. Let me just talk. Okay?
Well, we actually spoke to him about that yesterday, and we thought they took it very, very much too far. JD was very strong on it. So was I.
Just an involuntary,
so was Marco. And we've been speaking to him about it. Marco, would you like to say something about that?
Yeah, we have concerns, obviously, with the conduct of theirs, particularly as it
Look at his
impacts
face.
Americans.
Oh, Marco Rubio is one of the most detestable human beings to ever live. But he's only spared from this because he's next to two worse people.
And so this is a point the Vice President made of Munich, and I think it's a very compelling one, that what unites us with Europe, as much as anything else, is these shared values, and one of them being free speech. And so if Americans are threatened by it...
He's referring to the speech in Munich where J.D. Vance said that if Europe doesn't stop threatening to censor Elon Musk, then... we won't trade with you or something. It's just dumb.
Just stop. Let's see who's gonna feel the more pain.
Yeah.
Because America doesn't produce anything.
No, it does not.
Meetings last night. This is really important. We believe Americans have the right
I just hate looking at his face.
I do that. I just gag when I see his face.
They have the right to speak their mind.
There's just something off about it, man.
Square, which is often online these days, and we're going to defend that right as it pertains to American companies and American citizens vigorously.
Blah 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 blah.
Elon Musk is not
like
even an
Elon
American
Musk,
citizen anyway.
No, he's an American citizen, I think. He wasn't always. He was an illegal immigrant.
The principle that will guide us is
for like 2 years.
Free speech in this country, and we'll fight for it for American citizens.
Yeah, but this free speech does not mean that you're not gonna be censored if what your free speech is absolute bullshit and brainwashes people.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? The difference between like, oh well, this is free speech, and well, should you be allowed to use your free speech to say that there should be no free speech? Because that's what these guys do.
Yeah.
And sir, is there any agreement from Ukraine to purchase U.S. LNG as part of the deal, or is that on the table at all?
No, we don't need that.
Mr. President, I just wanted to ask you about, you just mentioned that you'd spoken to Vladimir Putin a couple of days ago. Just to be clear, that's a new call, not the one that you...
I've spoken to him on numerous occasions.
Okay, and how was the latest call? What did you discuss? How did it go?
Are you serious with that question?
I am.
Yeah, of course he is.
It went well.
Why are people in the room laughing? They're like a serious question. Because what?
East of Ukraine, not far from the front lines, and in areas that Russia has occupied.
This is important.
Will you direct President Putin to withdraw his forces from those areas if there's U.S. interest?
Well, we'll take a look at the time. We have a lot of areas.
So you're basically saying no. So no, we're gonna give away Ukrainian territory.
Basically, yeah.
If they are U.S. interests, would that be Ukrainian
They'll
forces?
be protected.
European
The agreement
forces?
will protect them.
US
The
forces?
agreement, yeah, we're signing an agreement.
No, you're not.
Russia tries to invade or-
No, you're not.
Yeah, even if they did sign the agreement, most of Russian territory is probably landmined to hell. So that's going to be a fun mining opportunity.
Some people may wonder
You know, they ought to focus on CNN on survival, not asking me these ridiculous questions. Focus on survival.
Once again, Trump calling out CNN for doing their jobs.
Let's go. Please go.
I already mentioned Poland. Poland was under Russian control for decades after the Second World War. When I was a kid, I looked at the United States not only as a most powerful country, richest country in the world, the country that has great music, great movies.
Oh God. Okay, yeah, we get it.
But also as a force for good. And now I'm talking with my friends in Poland, and they are worried that you align yourself too much with Putin. What's your message for them?
Well, if I didn't align myself with both of them, you'd never have a deal.
He was still not going to have a deal because you align yourself with a fucking dictator.
Yeah, you aligned yourself with Putin now, my friend. Like, if
the whole world knows it.
Yeah.
It's so...
Like, if you come across someone getting beaten up in the street and you say, hang on, guys, I'm sure both of you are in the wrong, then you're really standing up for the guy who's beating up the little guy, you know?
Yeah.
Tremendous hatred. And I understand that, but I can tell you the other side isn't exactly in love with, you know, him either.
Oh God, he sounds like he's trying to sound like he's doing this great like moral grandstanding.
He's not doing there's no moral there's no morality with him.
There's no both sides on like an insane war that they started and it's like killed hundreds of thousands of people.
You're never going to get a deal that way, so that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
I want to respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president.
Oh yeah, please. Let's hear more from like the puffy, inflated Twitter neo-Nazi
country.
prick.
The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the President of the United States' words mattered more than the President of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
No, he's not. He's not doing diplomacy. He's just being an absolute cunt. Sorry I said it. He's a fucking fired clown.
He's a clown who is on fire and is setting other things on fire as well.
Occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact line?
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
He doesn't even
fucking know.
He doesn't know shit.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, I shouted there.
No, that's fine. Shout away. Honestly, I've got a limiter on. We're good.
The situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president. In 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire. All of them told me that he will never go. We signed him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken this ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
Very good point by President Zelensky there.
Yeah.
What diplomacy can you do if they just ignore you?
Yeah.
I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and
okay, I'm stopping it. I'm stopping it. I can't
leave it there.
help it. Oh, God.
I can't. We have to stop it there because I'm gonna explode. Because every single word he says following this point is so disgusting and disrespectful to Ukrainian people and to the President Zelensky to such a level that how do you have the nerve to talk to the man that fought the Russians for 3 years and he put himself in the line of fire to make sure that his people survive and go through this? How dare you?
This
you
insane man baby. Ugh.
Effing clown. You absolute joke of a human being. You have no soul. You should...
Zelensky was making a pretty good point there about lots of stuff has happened and Russia has been basically allowed to get away with it. And as he said, you can't do diplomacy if someone just ignores the diplomacy. So what JD Vance is going to do is ignore what Zelensky just said, because he can't actually respond to it. This is a common tactic called chickening the fuck out and running away and acting like a little brat. Let's just watch a bit more, just a bit more.
Front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring it into this conflict.
This bit. Have you been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen.
You watched, dude. You haven't been there. I've been to Ukraine. I've seen Ukraine before this war.
Mr. President.
Okay.
Do you disagree?
They absolutely murdered and destroyed that country. They leveled beautiful parks. They leveled beautiful cities. They made people leave their homes. So shut the fuck up.
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war,
nope, that's good, man.
Has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You
God
don't know
bless.
that.
You will not be
This was the best. Clown is talking.
We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that.
That's exactly what you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
Oh, the sound of toys being thrown from a pram.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country.
Look at Zelensky's face right now.
I would have stand up. I would have genuinely stand up and been like, I'm done. I can't talk to you. I think it would have been a better power move if he would have just stand up in the middle of the
the thing is,
I would have stand up and I'll be like, you know what? I'm done with you. I'm absolutely done with you. I can't negotiate with you.
I think he made the right decision by being polite. I think he made the best optical decision because
I'm so happy I wasn't the president.
Neither me nor you.
I might have punched him.
It might have ended up in a knife fight if it was one of us. Let's be fair. So I think we've covered most of the important bits right now.
Yeah.
The rest of this is just Trump and Vance whining about how they're not being appreciated enough.
Of course, when you have small penises and your wives don't love you, if you had to pay for sex every single fucking time, okay, it's of course, dude, you feel neglected. Oh, probably his father was beating him when he was a child. Like, no, make a deal. Do this, do that. Oh, sorry, I think we're gonna have to.
I think if his father had beaten him, he might have turned into a nicer person. No, I do not support the abuse of children. It doesn't actually work.
No, I do not. Yeah, it doesn't work. Yeah, it's true. Sorry.
Okay, so the next part of this, let's just talk about the aftermath, shall we? So what has been happening in the aftermath? Well, literally, as soon as this interview was broadcast, every single country in Europe is now going, oh, okay, this America shit ain't going to work out, is it? So they've been planning behind the scenes and holding security summits, and they're trying to work out a deal where Europe basically becomes a big old security entity. Europe, that includes Britain, I should point out.
Yeah.
Because even though we're not in the EU anymore, we are still nearby. So it might be good to have some peace accords. So this went horribly for Trump, essentially.
Yeah, because everybody else in the world said, well, if the clown doesn't cooperate, why would we cooperate with him?
Yes. This shows basically that there's no point in attempting to deal with the Americans. There's no point in pretending that they're going to be acting in good faith.
Yeah.
There's no point in listening to any of their recommendations.
Yeah.
There's no point in dealing with them at all, because all you will get is, as we said at the beginning, a massive flaming pile of clowns.
Yeah.
That is all you can expect America to be right now. So they're off on a bender, and Sometimes when your friend says, hey guys, I've just bought a bunch of cocaine and I've snorted half of it, do you want the rest? Sometimes you just have to say, you know what, man? You go off and have your own night out. I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
And that's what Europe is doing right now.
Yeah, because it's like, we don't want your flaming clown cocaine.
Yes. I do not want to be on fire at the bottom of another pile of things that are on fire.
Well, just to wrap it up and to make it clear, we don't hate Russian people. Russian people, they are still suffering in their own way. We feel for them because they have the cards. They've been dealt the cards they've been dealt. We don't hate American people because most of America right now is seeing the massive mistake they made and the repercussions of their voting Trump in again and having Elon Musk as his right hand man.
I mean, we could make a whole other video about that.
Dude, I'm thinking we might.
Maybe one day we will.
Yeah. But what we are trying to say, well, we're gonna have to say it. Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump.
Fuck Donald Trump. Fuck everyone who voted for Donald Trump. Fuck people who put him into this position. Fuck all the cabinet members around him because they're all basically the same kind of thing. They're all bought. And yeah. There wasn't. I suppose if I wanted to leave this on anything, it would be a recommendation for people in this country. And basically, although I don't like Keir Starmer, I don't like the Labour Party at the moment, I don't like basically any British politician, they are all essentially evil. None of them are this stupid.
No.
None of them are this reckless, and none of them are this determined to make people suffer for their own enjoyment. That's the only explanation for this. The only reason that Trump has signed up with Putin and Russia is because he wants to make the United States into Russia, where a few very rich people suck up all the money and they spend their lives, living on Epstein Islands and, trafficking young women and, doing lines of cocaine off the backs of said young women in, Diddy parties and shit like that. That's all they want to do. And in Russia, if you're rich, you can do that.
With no problem whatsoever.
And the police will never bother you. Yeah. And that's the world that Donald Trump wants for... that's what he wants his country to turn into.
We're leaving it there.
I suppose we'll have to leave it there. Anyone in this country who is pretending that this won't affect us...
It will.
It will. Sooner or later, it will. The last time that Europe was divided, we ended up having a pretty big fucking war. And you know what? They thought, this Hitler fella, he's on the continent. He can't do anything about us. Oh, yeah, he could. Yeah. He did quite a few things.
He disturbed everybody's lives.
He did. And we thought we had learned our lesson. We thought the Nazis have all gone away. All the crazy right people have gone away. There's never going to be anything like that again, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave it there.
Leave it there, yes. Yeah, because, it's a good point to stop.
It's a good point, and we've been rambling for a long time. This has been Billy.
And this is Andre. I will see you in a regular show.
See you back in the regular show, where hopefully we'll be in a better mood.